need. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's Zoom town hall with young Nigerian youths all over the world. I want to say a big thank you for joining us back again. We took some break to better strategize and put ourselves, ready for a more well-structured um, deliberation. We need to move Nigeria forward, to the right place. And one of it that people have clamored for is restructuring. And today's discussion will be very centered around what will the restructured new Nigeria look like. It's amazing how most Northerners may not know that there was a committee set up by Governor El-Rufai, who is a Northerner, and he consulted widely a lot of Northern leaders, even traditional rulers, concerning the conversation around restructuring. And the committee eventually agreed that, Nigeria has to be restructured. Of course, most of the recommendation of that Governor El-Rufai's committee has not been executed yet. And of course, Nigeria is not yet restructured. But the conversation still lies with what will that restructuring look like? Because those who are not for restructuring, the argument has been, what really will a restructured Nigeria look like? Is there anything specifically that will change? Is there anything that has not been done? Is there any law that has not yet been passed? Some of them are saying it's not about the structure, it's about implementing the existing structure. But my argument is that the entire construction of Nigeria has a whole lot, if you look at it very well, a whole lot of injustice in the structure. If you look at it, holistically, without any sentiment, there's a whole lot of injustice that has been structured into what we know to be Nigeria. And honestly, until we all, take a stand and agree that we need to begin to look at all those injustices and begin to put them well, the restructuring ultimately is in the interest of everybody. North, South, middle, center is in the interest of everyone. And we are beginning to see that right now happening already. Before now, it used to be the argument that it was only South that had tangible mineral resources, and that, of course, the entire Nigeria contributed money to develop the oil that the Niger Delta has today. And as such, the current revenue sharing formula is okay. So guess what is happening now? A lot of good resources are being discovered in the north. For example, there's the discovery now. By the way, Rick, I'm not seeing on Facebook. I don't know whether it's me or what. I can't see the streaming on Facebook. So, for example, one of the argument has been what is happening right now where there is gold now in Zamfara. Okay, will it be fair that the Zamfara gold is wholesale taken by the federal government and then they just give Zamfara peanuts that they feel like giving? Will that be fair on Zamfara? And I can assure you that when you restructure Nigeria and every state begin to look inwards and probably are allowed to keep their resources and they pay tax to the federal government, one of the things that you will begin to realize, I'm very certain about this, is that every state in Nigeria has enough mineral resources to be able to sustain herself and pay her bills. What we've had is lazy managers at the state level, okay? And they became lazy because there is a mullah that comes in every month, right? Federal government shares money every month. I think I can see the Facebook Live now. You can go ahead and share on all platforms, also on the New Nigeria HQ. So there is that mindset that there's the moolah that comes in, and of course every month. So you don't need to work so hard. Something comes in from the federal government, and you are seeing lazy governors. You're seeing lazy governors across all states. And when Nigeria is restructured and everybody now knows that, hey, the way you lay your bed is the way you lie on it, right? Take care of your state, find a way to make your state profitable. It's a business, right? Governance is a business, and you have to run your state like it's a company, and that state has to be profitable. How many of you have noticed a business-like approach with the way Dubai is run? If you've noticed it, type I noticed. You go to the interior ministry in Dubai, which is equivalent to passport office or immigration office. In fact, they have a survey. You will survey them whether they've treated you right. That's the level of excellence. That's the level of discipline you'll find there. There's that structure where the people know that they are running a business. When you come there, you even survey, you give them points. If they've treated you well, you give them points. If you enjoy their service, it's run like a company. It's run like a business. But you go to our own passport office, you have to lobby, you have to beg somebody, you have to even know somebody. You have to find somebody you will be giving some bribe to, else you're on your own. You see what we're dealing with, right? Else you are on your own. So, and the reason all these are happening is because we are not running these things like a company that must declare profit, that must satisfy their customers. Even our political leaders do not see us as customers yet. Again, if you agree, type I agree. I don't know if you agree that our political leaders do not see us as customers. They still see us as people they are doing favor to, all these children, like somebody said, they called us children. And he's our mate, and called us children. We are now children, small boys and girls whose brain is not correct. All these children. That's a politician addressing Nigerian youth, children. Okay, when he needed the vote, did he call us children? When he wasn't yet in the House of Assembly, was he calling us children? So where did the audacity to call us children come from? Because it's now, and you can see the disdain in many of them's faces. You can see the culture. You can see the impunity. You can see the arrogance of Nigerian political class. It has to stop. And I feel that as we begin to restructure Nigeria, you're going to begin to see that change, because people are going to hold you accountable. You're on your own. There's no free lunch from any federal government, right? Every state, in fact, needs to make money and contribute to the federal government. When we start doing that, we will see tangible change in this country. And I think that is what we need to do. So today we're going to have 30 minutes to deliberate. What will the restructured new Nigeria look like? Okay, what will it look like to you? When they say restructuring, what do you want to see? And I want to beg every one of us who will be privileged to speak. We want you to come from the perspective of solution rather than the perspective of problems. I've noticed something about Nigerians. If you've noticed, type I noticed. We are wired to address issues from problem perspective rather than solution perspective. Like it's almost as if we are wired that way. We are almost subconsciously ready. If you tell somebody, give me 2 solutions to this problem, right? The first thing again he would do is to add 2 more problems. If you've noticed, type I noticed. Like, tell a Nigerian, give me 2 solutions to this problem. Unconsciously, you will add 2 more problems to the existing 2 problems that you asked him to give a solution for. So I want to appeal to everyone who will be privileged to address us tonight. Come from the perspective of solution. What will, when they say new Nigeria, restructured Nigeria, what does it look like? What do you want to see? Right? Even if you don't agree Nigeria needs to be restructured, okay, what will you see that will make you be convinced that Nigeria is now working for all of us and that this is the kind of Nigeria that we all desire and deserve? That's what we want to say. So we need you to come from the perspective of solution tonight. Please, I beg you again, come from the perspective of solution. I have a co-host, her name is Tolu Jai, and you're going to be seeing her face a lot more. Tolu is also sometimes caught off in that bug. Like I said, it's something we don't even know. It's a subconscious thing, right? How many of you notice that an average Nigeria subconscious is wired to complain and to give excuses? If you notice again, type I notice. It's a subconscious, right? Tolu, now you are talking. In fact, let me tell you what I do. Many of you don't know. I make sure I leave Nigeria at least once in 3 months to detox my brain from that excuse mindset, right? And I'm not kidding you. I make sure I travel at least once every 3 months outside Nigeria to kind of just, make sure I consciously detoxed my mind, and just get it out of, it's just so quick for us. Like, we're quick to just give it. Oh, there's no light in my house. Oh, my laptop is down. What else? Come on, guys, can you give me these excuses? There was traffic, that's why I'm late. Can I get more excuses that we typically throw around as Nigerians? Right? We are just bad network. Thank you. Bad network is another one. I have been driving. Which other one? Okay, come on, give me all this. It's just subconscious. It's there. Like, it's ready-made answer. Let me see. I want to see more. Traffic is too much. That's why I came late. Which other one? Bank transfer network issues. So somebody is owing you money, is supposed to pay you. But the network, which is true in many cases, and that's why. Oh Lord, help me. Help me. I'm in transit, right? All manner. So no light is another one. We're just wired to give excuses. So please, as you join today, I want you to give me solutions. I'm going to start with Tolu. Tolu, what do you have for us today? And welcome.
Yes, thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. And you've mentioned that we should not give problems, just as you said. So it boils down to, we're at the threshold in the history of our country, right? Not just because of the NSAS movement, but because everybody is practically involved with the consciousness. There's just an awakening over every life, upon everyone at this time. Everybody's just awakened. So about the restructuring as regards solution, one point I would want to re-emphasize today is... Sir?
Not me.
Hello?
Mute yourself, guys. We need everybody's video on, but unmute mute your audio. But everybody's video needs to be on, please. Please go ahead.
I just want to give, I would just give one point, and that's basically what we're doing now, to start with reorientating ourselves and getting informed. Because at this threshold, everyone is awakened, everyone is involved. I'm seeing even the We Move movement, They are not just protesting physically. Everybody is moving online, getting to inform one another, getting to know about the Constitution, getting to know about our rights, getting to know about what the new dream is. What exactly do we want in today's governance? What do we want in the government? What do we envision? I envision a Nigeria where the justice system, the judiciary system works better. I see a new Nigeria where, you know, our youths are more empowered. And my number one solution to what is happening right now, just have us all informed. Let's understand our history. All right, let everyone get to understand our history. Let's understand our constitution. Let's understand what we're standing and raising up our voices for. All right, that would be my point while I allow others to talk.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you for that. A constitution that works for all of us, absolutely. Nigerian constitution is not working. You know, and we need something that works. So if you want me to pull you up in our usual style, we have 30 minutes. We're going to have you guys talk. We have a lot of announcement for you guys. There's so much that we've done. So much we've done. I mean, I must commend Dipo, Ahmed, Mohammed Adeleke, and even Tolu has started, she's going to be putting proper structure to our events going forward. So tomorrow's event, you won't see my face. I may just come as a guest speaker, but we're having different anchors that we're anchoring every day. You know, it's quite a lot of people have done so much behind the scene, and we're getting to the point where we now need to start engaging all of you in what we'll be doing. From next week, we will no longer be streaming from Stephen Akintayo's page. Yes, I agree. I'm the convener of the New Nigerian Youth Movement. I called everybody together. But this thing is bigger than myself. It's a national project. We need everybody on board. Hausa, Yoruba, Igbo, Ibibio, Niger Delta, everybody. We need Muslim, Christians, everybody. If Nigeria will work, then all of us must put hand on deck to make it work. We are all victims of the system. And I want, or if there's one thing I need to change in the mindset of people listening to us, is that the problem is not Hausa. The problem is not Igbo. The problem is not Yoruba. The problem is the political class. And let's face it, right? Human beings are human beings anywhere in the world. If the system allows injustice, people will practice injustice. But you cannot say the people are the problem. Are you telling me that the Hausa man who is trying to sell his tomatoes or his onions, right, who fled the crime in the north, the banditry in the north, Boko Haram in the north, and is trying to sell his stuff in Faba, is the problem of Nigeria? Is that what you're telling me? Right? I lived in the north. I was born in the north. My father, you know, had a church beside a mosque. Right? All my neighbors were Muslims, right? In fact, many of them, their wives are not even allowed to go out, so they have double fence. We go in fact, we go into their wife's house, we eat there, we play, we move around. We were never a victim. Nobody in the north, till I left, treated me differently because I was a Christian. And I grew up in Maiduguri, where Boko Haram started. Of course, when I was in the north, there was no Boko Haram. Ignorance that makes somebody to see Nigeria problem, and the first thing that comes to you is one race that is the problem, is one religion that is the problem, is one other. You know, it is ignorance. You have obviously have not seen from a deeper perspective. That's why you talk that way. And if Nigeria will work, all of us must put our hands on deck. Every Nigerian, color, tribe, I don't care, every Nigerian. There are bad Christians as well as there are bad Muslims. There are bad Yorubas as well as there are bad Igbos, there are bad Hausas. But you do not, the same thing even with the Nigerian police. They are good policemen. You know, not every Nigerian police is SARS or, you know, not even all those in SARS are wicked. I saw a video of a policeman, Hausa man, in the east, in Igbo land. This man was so good that they turned, in fact, they did rally and invited him as guest speaker during the NSAS movement. When people were burning other police stations, people gathered in his own station, raised him. In fact, they were all shouting, hailing his name as if he should become their governor. Is that not a policeman? In the East, Hausa man, Hausa DPO. So when you tell me that, you know, people are evil just because they are Yoruba or they are Igbo, they are Hausa, they are Christian, they are Muslim, something is wrong in your orientation. And that's why we're doing all these town halls, right? That's why we're doing this, so that we begin to re-educate ourselves. And even if you won't believe an Hausa man telling you this, at least you believe a Yoruba man telling you an Hausa man is not your problem. And by the time we begin to do that across the divide, imagine an Hausa man telling his fellow Hausas that Igbo man is not the problem, is our political elite. You need to go to the north. I was still in Maiduguri in December. I went to the IDP camp. IDP camp that was supposed to take 1,000 families, max 2,000. There were 34,000 people there. You need to see them living below how human beings were supposed to live, right? And yet there are leaders in those places. So what has a northerner being the president really done? What has he done? When you need to go to South-South, go to South-South, go to Bayelsa. It's almost like a dry land. What has Jonathan, being the president for 6 years, done for Niger Delta? This is the conversation we need to begin to make. That this is not a Muslim, Christian, is not an Igbo, and it's a pure issue that we have a political class that are greedy, that is greedy. And it doesn't even matter. Some of them are youth. You saw what Desmond Elliott said. You saw what that lady, Macaulay, or what's her name, said. These people are young people, and see the way they even started addressing we youth as children. And they are youth themselves, right? The same people who got to, to politics using social media, same people are now against social media, right? President Buhari government got to government because of social media. So we need to face the fact, political class that is not working for us, period. But when we, and this is what they do. They love to divide us. They love to, put us in that box of, yes, Igbos are the problem. You don't understand. Hausas are the problem. You need to understand this person is the problem. That's what they love to do. And if you fall, a victim of that, then we are destroying this country. So I'm going to take Collins as our first guest. And then after Collins, I will have Mustafa. Please remember, come from the perspective of solution. What does the new Nigeria look like for you? Unmute your video, unmute your audio, and go ahead. Collins. How do we get the type of structure that we desire in this new Nigeria? Yes, Collins, go ahead.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Good evening. We need to see your video. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. It's actually early morning, my own time, because I'm in China. And, I just have to stay awake so that I'll be able to participate in today's Zoom. And today, from the topic restructure, it's very obvious that most of our leaders, nobody is being held accountable for their failures. Seeing pictures of things happening around the streets of every nooks and crannies of Nigeria shows the in-depth of the mismanagement of fund, the allocations that are coming in every year, nothing is being done. The bad roads. You did mention the Dubai case, probably the immigration office sort of, or passport office. Here that I live in China, mostly everywhere you enter, after the service, you are being given something to either rate the service. Is it okay with you? And if it's okay with you, the response goes directly to the main server. It's not going to a particular person. So if we really need to what is it? If we really need to change the system in Nigeria, every government needs to be held accountable for everything that is being mismanaged. Because now, if you restructure the country, that means I am from the East. All the states in the East, you manage your state based on what is coming out of your own state. And everything so far shows that even if we get to that point, then we need to start asking questions. We need to start telling them things are not being done the way they are supposed to be done, so that we'll be able to get exactly the image that we are trying to portray. If things are not done right, we go to them. Why is it done like this? This is not what we expect. This is how much that is coming into the system. Why are we not getting the good roads? Why are we not getting the light? Why are we not getting the medical facilities? There is no single hospital. You can't even treat yourself for anything except for malaria and typhoid fever. That's the only result you get from Nigeria. We reconstruct, we manage the system, put everything in place, and make it work.
How? My brother Collins, you see what I'm talking about, the bug that's caught all of us. How do we restructure Nigeria? We all know the problem. I remember one time Fashola became the governor and he said, you know, that don't tell me the problem of Lagos State. I've been living in Lagos State. I also know the problem, right? Give me solutions. What can we do to change, to restructure? How do we even restructure? What do you want to see, right? What do, for example, you are the East. Some people say give Eastern Nigeria one more state so that it's balanced. Every region has six states. So somebody can
personally,
everybody hold on to your resources, right? So
yes. Personally for me, I don't think creation of more states is going to solve the problem, because the one we already have, we've not been able to manage anything.
Problem. What will solve the problem?
The only thing I think that will solve the problem is letting the masses to be aware of everything that is happening. Let's have an open sphere where you could say, once you log into the system, you'll be able to tell this is the amount of money that is being coming into the system on daily basis, on monthly basis. And with this, we'll be able to say, this is where we channel so amount, and we channel the other amount to these other sectors. Because creation of states, to me, will also create more problems. So the little we have, then let's use what we are getting from within to make things right.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you. Because of time, next person is Mustafa. Thank you for waking up staying up late. He joined us from China. God bless you, my brother. That's the level of passion Nigerians have to see this country change, right? Have to stay late to be part of this event today. God bless you. Mustafa, you're next.
Oh, God bless you, sister.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Stephen. Thank you for this opportunity and thank you for putting this together. I must commend your effort, and I'll tell you, I believe so much in your leadership. Thank you for doing a good job. The question is, what would a new Nigeria look to me? Dr. Stephen, a new Nigeria that has data. That is what I love to see. You see, it is not as if Nigeria do not have data. They collect data in the bank. We give them our mother's name, our grandfather's name in the bank. We give them driver's license, international passports, BVN, which could have been the tool that would change the face of data in this country. They ended up messing it up. I will tell you what, I run a business where we need to do like a verification checks on people, on our customers. When you log, and it is required that you log into the system with some certain parameters. It is unfortunate that in Nigeria, there is no data integrity. Somebody whose date of birth is 0203. You enter the system 0203, the system is telling you no, the person is 0302. 0203 is March 2nd. But when you display it as 0302, that is February 3rd, then at the end of the day, we cannot get anything done. You see, it's so bizarre, very preposterous that the Department, Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Welfare has made the distribution of palliatives a mere emotion or gut feeling. You know why? Because they do not have data. If as a person, part of the reason I'm pursuing data analysis to as the highest of the level I can get to is because I've seen that this thing is very, very small. I decided to experiment with my constituents, and I can tell you how many people are there, how many houses are there, how many registered voters. With their details, I have everything. If I can, as an individual, do that, why can't our government do data collection? If we look at the way China was able to combat COVID-19, they use the same social media that they are trying to ban. They are trying to mess with here, just with the WeChat application. You could go Google and read how China was able to combat. Because when you are leaving your house, there's a device that you will click that will take your fingerprint when you are leaving your house. To every point you get to, you have to click and enter with your fingerprint. So that way, if there is a spread, if somebody has been tested positive in a particular location, with that biometrics, they can check the number of people the person has come in contact with in the last 14 days, and they will advise you to isolate. And that was how they were able to. So the new Nigeria that I would love to see, Mr. Stephen, is the new Nigeria that we do not take strategic decisions based on our gut feelings or mere emotions anymore. We take it based on data. And the brain that we do those things, Mr. Dr. Stephen, they are here. Nigerians have that just because they will give the job to the wrong people. Look at what happened to National Identity Card. Look at what happened to BVN. They were all messed up at the end of it. So the new Nigeria I would love to see is a Nigeria where data is, where our data have integrity. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate you. That's powerful. And by the grace of God, you'll be driving our data in the new Nigerian movement. Okay. And hopefully it will be well structured, because we are able to leverage on data and use data. We already have a vision of having 10 million people on our Facebook group. It's called the New Nigeria HQ. In fact, in less than a week, we already have over 1,000 people, and conversation has started. People are fired up. So if you are not yet in the New Nigeria HQ WhatsApp group, please go join. It's a fun place to be. There's a lot of amazing conversation going on there about this new Nigeria that we are creating, that we need. We all agree we need a new country. Kayode Oduton, you're next. Kayode Odunton, you're next, please.
Odunton. Yes. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Stephen. Thank you also to everyone who is on this call tonight. I couldn't agree less with the last speaker. You have said it, and you have said it very well. Data integrity and doing things based on data is one sure way that we can deliver the best of service to the Nigerian people. If we had data that can tell us for sure how many young children do we have in Nigeria, how many old people do we have in Nigeria, how many people from the youth age group in Nigeria, these are important data that would give us a clear view of what we want to do and how we want to go about it. If we have a clear view of what data that we need, we can determine what quantity of energy do we need to generate to make sure that every household has minimum of 20 hours power supply per day. And why can't we even go for, if we had all this data, we can also go ahead and create manufacturing hubs in every local government. For me, I say, why not have 5 manufacturing hubs? We have almost everything any young school leaver, any young university graduate needs to manufacture anything he wants to do. Somebody is skilled in fashion and he doesn't have the resources to get a shop, to get machines, to get everything. He goes there, he does his manufacturing, and he gets his product out, and he goes out to market his product. Somebody is skilled in making shoes, he goes there, he does whatever he has to do, and come out. And he does this at little or no cost. Of course, it will come at a cost, but at least this is the leverage the government is supposed to be providing for our people to grow. And same thing applies to almost every other walk of life. People who want to manufacture anything you can imagine, can go to such manufacturing hubs and manufacture these things for themselves. I, for one, don't agree with the plan of the federal government to spend 75 billion naira on God knows what. Said they want to empower youth. Such money should be carefully put into creating manufacturing hubs. You can even invite the likes of Siemens, General Electric to come there, generate power for such manufacturing hubs, and they make their money even from there. So it is, and going by structuring is a must if we will get to where we ought to get to in Nigeria. Restructuring is a must. I am looking at a 6-region structure where you have the north, is it the northeast, northwest, the southwest, southeast, south. A 6-region structure where people in such regions have a common mind. Yoruba, for instance, we hold our own region. The people in the Middle Belt hold their region. People in the northeast, northeast, and northwest hold their regions, and everybody will develop at their own pace. Let the Niger Delta man hold his oil. Let the man in Ogun State hold his limestone. Let the man in Zamfara take care of his gold. Let the man. Everybody should hold on to their own resources, and everybody has a certain royalty that they pay to the federal purse to manage the federal the armed forces, to manage the police, to manage the federal parastatals and agencies and all of that. I think that's a better way to manage and to run the country that we so desire for ourselves. The new Nigeria we desire should be a Nigeria that is restructured and should be a Nigeria that is restructured so that we can get development and growth to the grassroots. I don't have to, right now, if I wanted anything, everybody is shouting, Abuja, Abuja, Abuja. Everybody is looking to the president to get things done. Why should I have to go to Abuja when I have a chairman in my local government or who is handicapped because he doesn't have autonomy? The state governor is handicapped. He doesn't have autonomy. He doesn't have power over the military. He doesn't have power over the police. He doesn't have power over so many things. He's just there. You can imagine what someone was telling us, that he did not invite them. Eventually, we know that he invited them. Can you imagine if we had a region to ourselves and we know that, oh, Mr. Man, you are the principal of this region. You are responsible to us. You will answer to us. And we start from the local government. Mr. Local Government Chairman, come and answer to us. How did you manage the resources that was put in your care? And of course, like she said earlier, digitalizing everything is the master game plan for us. Digitalize everything. Every police station must be digitalized. Anybody who is coming in, there are cameras seeing who is coming in. As you go into the police station, you lodge a complaint. Your complaint must be logged in the system immediately. You bring in a criminal, you must log it into the system.
Okay, because of our time, we really appreciate your contribution. Thank you very much. God bless you. Next person is Ahmed Akande.
Okay, good evening, everybody. It's always a thing of joy to be here. Today we are talking restructuring, and of course, this has been on the table since around 2015, 2016, became heated in 2016, agitation across the regions. But the question is, how do we get the structure we all clamor for? Dr. Stephen, just like you said, Malam Nasir El-Rufai, I've not even been aware of that, had the committee that submitted recommendations. Also, I can remember in the Southwest, the Afeniferes and the Hobas, they came together, they spoke about restructuring. Even of recent, Padiboye clamored for restructuring. You see, all these calls will remain calls, they will remain resolutions, they will remain resolution of committees until those of us that really want this join the polity. I mean, we can only achieve this if we are able to amend the constitution to do so. And I'll give us an example we can relate to it. Back in 2011, do you know that President Goodluck Jonathan invested in what we now know as the card reader? As at 2011 election, I participated in that election. I was a presiding officer in Rivers State, Port Harcourt. We saw these machines. I think we were the first set of people to register the voters for the permanent voters card. We collected the biometrics, and I was expecting that the election was going to be electronic. If not in 2011, at least by 2015, the election should have been electronic. But guess what? Even when everybody wanted electronic voting, even when everybody was calling for electronic voting, it never flew. Why didn't it fly? It didn't fly because our constitution does not recognize electronic voting yet. So you cannot amend the Electoral Act, which is a subset of the constitution, to have electronic voting. Even look at as perfect as the PVC is, our politicians have found a way to submerge the PVC. A golden rule for this is the 2015 election of Governor Nyesom Wike, where the Supreme Court recognized that the PVC is only incidental, is not, since it's not mentioned outrightly, statement for statement, word for word in the Constitution. Then the incidental forms they filled took precedence over the PVC. What am I saying in essence? My beloved Nigerians, those of us that really have this country at heart, we need to mobilize in mass to get people that will do what we are doing into the House of Assembly. And I've always reiterated, it's not just the Senate or the national, the House of Rep. It's not just the NAS. We also need the state assemblies, because to amend our constitution is a written constitution and as such is rigid. The process for amending the constitution is stringent and rigid, such that you need 2/3 of the state assemblies, of the 36 state assemblies, to agree to this. I'll give you an example. When we are talking about local government autonomy, when the agitation was heated, they sent it to the state assemblies. And we all know the state assemblies are in the pocket of the governors. We didn't get up to 2/3 of our 36 states to support the autonomy of the local government. The president can only do as much. Of recent, President Buhari did what? He said he wants to be paying the local government to the local government account directly. It's not working because it's not explicitly stated in the Constitution. So we need more enlightenment. We need more reorientation. We need to get more of our type of minds into the legislative arm of government to make the executive to sit up. That's what I think is the solution, so that we'll not remain wailers, as they call us, or criers. We want to be movers. We want this movement to be endemic, such that it gets to all states across this nation and we grip this power politically as written in the Constitution. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. We don't want to be wailing wailers.
As they call us.
As they call us, right? We want to be action takers, we want to be people who make moves. And we want to see a greater Nigeria. And I believe it will happen in my own lifetime. I'm not
so too.
That if you believe Nigeria will be a great Nigeria in your own lifetime, I believe Nigeria in my own lifetime, right? In your own lifetime, we will have a better Nigeria. Who is next? Who is next? Tolu, who is next? Who is the next person we're bringing up? Tolu Rojai, are you there?
I'm here. Right now, I'm not seeing anyone. So that's about.
If you want to contribute in terms of what does the restructured new Nigeria looks like? That's what we're discussing today. What does the restructured new Nigeria, what does it look like? Well, because it's important. Whatever you cannot define, is an issue. When the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. Kayode, you have already spoken, so let other people speak. So we need a Nigeria that works for all, but we all need to speak from the perspective of how does it look like? And so please talk to us from the perspective of solution. What will Nigeria that is restructured look like? That's what we are asking to talk on. Yes. Go ahead.
Is it me?
Yes, go ahead. Jacinta is next.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. My name is Jacinta Ogarafu. Now, can you hear me?
We can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. In my own definition, I'm actually kind of a mind restructuring person. And I've always longed for this kind of transformation in Nigeria. And thank you for this privilege. Now, restructuring, we need to get to understand the meaning of restructuring first. Restructuring means like transforming the mindset. In fact, let's say, let me just use a structure as an example. Hello. When you want to a structure, I'm hearing some noise. When you want to restructure a structure, when you want to renovate a structure, you might have to break down that structure, the one that is already not needed. Do you get? You might have to break it down first, then set up your own a structure that is needed. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay. With the problem we have in Nigeria right now, we need a restructure, we need a working system. First of all, we have leaders already on the seat. And now we want to set up a new Nigeria, which is the youth movement we are already on, that is already on. Now, first of all, the minds of everyone needs to be restructured to be able to be aligned to this new movement, to this new system we are trying to bring up. Now we need leaders, of course. Thank God for people like you, Mr. I don't know, Dipo, I don't know, a lot of you that are heading this project anyway. Thank God for the likes of all of you that are in this already. Now, please, we need a working system. Like we should set up a system, put up different departments in the system. Can you hear me? Put up different departments, different committees, as you guys have already set up. Put up different committees. Everybody should channel their interest to whichever committee that they can actually function better in. Do you get? Now that those committees like those committee, they should be well active in whatever. First of all, there should be, I don't know. Okay, in my own, like I run an NGO that currently deals with teenagers, and I work with the teenager, young people. And what I do is actually to restructure their mind to get focused on their future. Are you getting me? So like you've succeeded in taking the minds of people off the wrong system that they already that their mind is already occupied with. When you've succeeded in taking their mind away from that wrong structure, whatever wrong mindset, they now bring up the new system, like the new, like the vision, you understand? Define it to the mind of everybody. I don't know how to actually communicate this, what I have in mind to actually put up there. But I hope people understand what I'm trying to say.
But you have communicated well. I think you don't need to second guess yourself. We heard you well, and you have made a lot of good points. Thank you so much. So next person is Atito Di Chuku. Yeah, Chuku is next. Go ahead, Chuku. Otito Diri Chuku, go ahead. Where is he? Okay, so Otito Diri Chuku is next. So you are muted. So go ahead, unmute your video and go ahead. We have Olu Wole Awojobi. If Chuku is not ready, so Awojobi, you can go.
Hello,
Go ahead.
Mr. Steven.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Thank you for yesterday. I think we spoke yesterday, so I appreciate it, sir.
You're welcome.
Okay, so my contribution is going to be very brief. It's just going to be on 1 or 2 points. As one of our sisters said, we need a database. I think, first of all, that should be a priority if we want to have a really responsible country that's going to care for everybody. When I'm here in the US, when the COVID-19 started, so the government said they're going to give us, something to let us stay at home. So, and they say, okay, it was just so precise. They said tomorrow you're going to have money in your account, something like that. If you have 2 kids, this is the amount you're going to get. If you have 3 kids, this is the amount you're going to get. So, and when the day break, the money is in everybody's account. Why? Why is that possible? Because they have a database. Everybody have a number. Whatever you do, they know it's you. If I'm in Georgia, if I live here and go to New York, whatever I do in New York, maybe I want to go and rent an apartment, they have to get my number down. So if they look at the database, they're going to see me that I moved from moved from Georgia to New York. So that will, in terms of corruption, that will reduce corruption, because in Nigeria, you can steal money in Lagos and run to Ibadan. Nobody's going to know you there, except if somebody that met you before know that, okay, it is you. So it encourages this corruption if there's no database. So if you want to build a new Nigeria and do a greater thing, I think the foundation should be a database. When I went to school in Ire, SM Afolabi was minister of, back years ago, SM Afolabi was minister of internal affairs. He's late now. He was in charge of National Voters ID then, and they gave him a lot of money. But unfortunately, as usual, everything died down about few months. The project was not completed, and we heard that he was the main person that that squandered the money. So I think we need to bring that back again and have a database in Nigeria. if we want to build a solid foundation. That's my own opinion.
Thank you very much. We appreciate your contribution. We have Oluwaseyi Solanke, followed by Dr. Anthony Prince. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much. I've listened carefully with contributors and what we have all discussed, but in my own perspective, number one, you can't fight a system from outside when you are not in. And looking at a case study of Nigeria, I have opportunity to live in different parts of the world, and looking at what we are facing in Nigeria, we hardly have a case study for Nigerian cases, but maybe other people can use our own as models. The issue of leadership has been something that has been eluding us since creation of Nigeria. And when you look at it, we have all the resources, we have everything. Even as much as been stolen out of Nigeria, we still have a massive wealth that even has been untapped. Now, leadership power. Today in Nigeria, we hardly have mentors again. Who can you call your mentors? By the time you start digging up, you see that he has had his hand, his legs, so many things. When I was in school, I used to look up to some people like Taye Shola, look at Aferi Wani, look at Gani Fawemi, and all sorts of people like that. But in our system today, how many can we find? And there is a kind of grooming of people. We have it in Nigeria. And the few things that we have, somebody was talking about database. Nigeria has a database. What about NIMSI? What has happened to NIMSI? They started it. What about the national ID card? NIMSI, what happened to it? They will do it to a certain level and they will leave it. So looking at what is happening, that's why I said it's very difficult to use Nigeria as a case model. We have the best proposals in the world. Call a Nigerian citizen to write a proposal for you. It will be flawless. But when it comes to implementation, that is our problem, because the person who wants to put up dynamism is already compromising it before it even starts it. So at the end of the day, it will get to a middle and it will collapse. So now, coming back to the political power, somebody has raised a fundamental issue. We don't have a constitution in India. The constitution that is given to us by military, it does not favor its citizens. That is the first bone of our problem, which is the constitutional issue. So I don't know how we go about this. We have leaders that we have elected, but I don't really know what they go to the National Assembly to do. Maybe they speak on their own, on behalf of themselves, because you see that somebody who has just been an honorable for 4 years, in less than 3 years, is a multi-millionaire. I've seen people rise up and say, okay, let's end SARS. They should cut their salary and everything. Well, if their salary package is not even regularized, it's a special package. I work with Ministry of Finance, and I know how things are run in Abuja. So it's a systemic failure. Seriously, it's a systemic failure. And when we are saying systemic failure, you are putting people there, but at the same time, the people you are even putting on the top to do this work are already compromised. So that's why I said I don't see a model I can use for Nigeria. But
Okay.
going
Thank you.
forward,
Thank you.
we need to hold the people we have even elected. Let's hold them accountable. I think if we start from that point, start holding them accountable. If somebody come back after 4 years and he's not done anything, why don't we vote him out? We have the power of voting. But do we really realize it? Do the citizens realize the power of their vote? Thank you
Okay.
very much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you for that. Dr. Anthony Prince, please let's stick to the, like we said, the solution perspective to this. I mean, we all know the problem of this country, and we can all go on and on and on and analyze the problem, but we need solutions. Remember, this is the new Nigeria movement. It's not the old Nigerian movement. And in the new Nigerian movement, we have to be able to give solutions as to how do we create that new Nigeria. And also in the new Nigerian movement, we are people of hope, right? If we all give up, I mean, if we give up, we have to hope against hope. That's why we're here, to say, you know what, there is still hope that this country can get better. And honestly, I feel some of you have given up. It's because you've not studied the over 200 years of America. After 200 years, can you imagine what's going on in America as we speak? Can you even imagine? At least those of you in America, can you even imagine that this kind of season can happen? That if even it's so bad that even the so-called good guys have also said they will compromise. The Democrats have said if they win, they will pack the courts. This sounds to me like the APC PDP talks, right? So even America that we always love to compare ourselves with, is over 200 years. Go study what has happened. They had civil war. Even after civil war, they have struggled with militia groups, with the KKK, with the white supremacy movement. How many years are we? 60. We are not there yet, and we can get better. Okay, let us, at least our generation, need to put something into the table. I remember Pastor Tunde Bakari apologizing to the youths and trying to analyze what he feels his own generation has done. And I agree with him. At least they ended military rule. At least they did. Oh yeah, what will our own generation do? That's the conversation. Are we going to be the complaint generation? Right? Are we? At least let's have something on top. Let our own be that we're going to end bad governance. Right? Let's be the generation that will hold leaders accountable. See how Desmond Elliott was called out. He will never try it again in his life. I promise you. Which is part of the reason why I'm saying let young people, come on board. Because we know how to deal with young people. If they misbehave, we know where we all meet on social media. We know how the Nigerians call out Davido, Wizkid, Burna Boy. Do you think these people wanted to protest? That's one of the mistakes people who are observing the NSAS movement don't know. These people didn't want to protest. It was their fans that were calling them out. That were saying, we will not listen to your music again if you do not go out and speak for young people. That was what led to the NSAS movement. It wasn't like these people wanted to protest. That's why you saw Davido telling the IG that, look, I'm not the leader. It's the truth. So we have figured out using social media how to call out our people. But how do you call out Buhari? I can bet that Buhari has not seen Twitter since he became president of Nigeria. He has not seen it. Like, you will see a single tweet. Lai Mohammed is not on social media. So you see, you are just talking to people who can't even hear you. You're on your own. You're on your own. Continue. Be talking. Okay? So this is why young people have to take over. Yes. Chukwudi, go ahead. Or Dr. Anthony, any one of you can come up.
All right. Good evening, all. I'm Dr. Anthony from KB State. I will point out some things and bring out solutions to it. But then, the only solution to this particular struggle is awareness, total awareness, grassroots
Your video, your
Um,
video, your face. Thank you.
all
Go ahead.
right, grassroots awareness. We need to involve all the youth in Nigeria. As I'm talking to you now, the only person or only region that is aware of this 100% is the South, Southeast, South, Southwest. Majority of Northern youths are not carried along. And because of this, we will struggle as youths of Nigerians, new Nigerian movement, will struggle and struggle and struggle. At the tail end, in Northern youth will still bring us down. That's why I'm saying that we should put more effort in the North. I stay in them, and I know what I'm saying. The majority of the Northern youths are still following the archaic route. What they so much believe is one direct rule. Direct rule. That is what is applicable here. That once the emir have said or emir has spoken, any other thing is secondary. If the governor has spoken, any other thing is secondary. When this movement was going on, KB said they wanted to organize their own NSAS protests. The governor came and said no movement. The emirs came and said nobody should try it. Everybody went to bed and sleep. Which I believe that if it's other part of the country, it won't happen. They must do that protest. As youth they are. So we need to do a serious grassroots, awareness in the North. The North I'm talking about is Northwest in particular. Northwest. Other part of North has actually, come to some limelight, but Northwest is still as in very deep. They are still blind of what leaders are, particularly that is from the North. It cannot be condemned. I'm opportunity to be in part of some part of their media platforms and some of their leaders platform. If you have stayed long in the North, you have opportunity to get into them very, very well. So I'm close to all of them, even Sultan of Sokoto, very close to him as well. But then, if you see what they are saying when issue is brought upon, if you see what they are saying with their mouths, you find that they are still way, way, way back. So we need to do more work in the North to bring them to the limelight, to know what is happening. That the problem of Nigeria is not the Igbos, it's not the Yorubas, but the political elites. That is what we need to do. I've started doing it already, but then, since last 4 days, the threat I received from some political elites, I think I'm not going anymore. The threat is beyond human reasoning. But I'm trying to ignite the soul of their citizens against them. So we need to do more work here. It might not be someone that is here. Someone else should have to come over here and do it. I have the connection to link up the youths.
Thank you.
Fact is that.
Thank you very much for that. Because of time, we'll move on. We will definitely, I can assure you, the Northern Nigeria will be part of this movement. As somebody who was born in the North, I can assure you, they will be part of this movement. And I will tell you how it will happen. We will engage the Northern Nigerians who live in the South. That's where we're going to start from, right? And many of them will be encouraged to go back home and go and take the revolution back to their people. When God wants to change any country, raise a Moses, right? It has to be one of them that still have to reach out to them. But at some point, we definitely reach out to all the emirs. We'll reach out, Sultan of Sokoto, all this, we'll reach out to them. I need you to know that I don't think the Northerners are not aware. What has happened in the North is the same thing they have started doing in the South. It's called weaponized poverty. When poverty has been weaponized against a people, you see, you and I are talking. Okay, for us to talk here, at least you have data. At least you have a phone. No be so. You have data, you have phone, you have chop belle food small. Right? Small. It may not be much, but small.
Yeah.
But you cannot say, a poor man should do that. These are people who are not even sure of their next square meal. I mean, I saw a Marjorie growing up where they go to each houses. I mean, we were poor, but, I saw poverty in real sense with their Marjorie children. So weaponized poverty is the problem. The northern elite are more afraid than the southern elite. I need you to know that. Because what happened in the south will be child's play if the northern youth rise up. Child's play. I'm telling you. So they know. They know themselves. So when you see certain youth, is that they are afraid that if these guys get enlightened, if these guys' eyes are open, they're all in trouble. They know that for a fact. So, but again, we will not keep until we get our desires. Chukwu, go ahead. Go ahead, you're muted. Otito Diri Chukwu, go ahead. Is Otito Diri Chukwu there? Okay, again, he's not there. So I'm going to take Samuel Dada.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. I'm here for the first time because I just saw your big thing on Facebook and I decided to come on Twitter and I saw you and I came in. You're doing a very good job. The solution for whatever we are passing through in Nigeria is in the hands of the younger generation. It is only that they are yet to understand the power they have. And I thank God in the last 4 weeks, what's taking place in Nigeria, we are getting there because I could remember about 4 or 5 years ago, I decided to be coming to Nigeria after a very long time. And I found out that there is a large number of poverty in the southern part of Nigeria. And I decided that, okay, we are having universities in all the states in Nigeria. In all the states, at least each university, we have up to 20,000 students. Now, we are having 36 states. If we can have the group of younger people that has the same approach, that doesn't have pride in them, that doesn't think of self-centeredness ideology, we can come together and take this idea to these younger generations in the university. At least if we can get 50% of big students in all the universities voting for a particular party that is being formed, a formidable party through the younger generation that will serve as alternative to this APC-PDP, we can get what is called a political revolution. Because when people use revolution, people turn it as if it is something that is bad, is an overthrow. Revolution does not mean evil. It is the methodology of revolutions that determine what type of revolution is being done. Like what Omoyele Sowore was telling Nigerians is a social revolution. That is a revolution that involves the creation of honorable living and a fulfillment social well-being of the people. Because America had a revolution when they were about to form America. That was the American Revolutionary War in the year 1775 to 1783. When Obama came in 2008, there was a language he used for Nigeria. He said, if we can took America 90 years to get it right, that Nigerians about 40 something years there. So then I was having hope that we can get it right. But I will tell you, I lost all hope in this shop and chop generation that are in power for the past 40, 50 years in Nigeria. And why we are not getting it right in Nigeria, it is because if you look at the people in power, from Obasanjo to Buhari, these are the people they've been in power in the 70s. So Nigeria has never been, electing their candidates. We have always been selecting our candidates. That is why it is difficult for us to grow. That is why it is difficult for the people to recall a senator or a representative back to their constituency whenever they are found misappropriated in anything they are doing. So because all these people were being given a post through a godfatherism system, that is why the likes of Desmond Elliott is saying all those trash. Because they brought you out and you have to play to their tone. And I used to tell many Nigerians that when they ask you, let the youth come into power, Bankole came into power, Naba came into power, Buhari Gate, the first speaker during the days of Obasanjo, the first guy, very soundable guy when he speaks. But I will tell you, he also corrupted. They will corrupt you. We have younger generations that have followed these elders. They corrupted them because they have to dance to the tunes of those that brought them into power. So for any one of us to change the system, as a younger people, we need to put our pride aside. That is the way I see it. I'm a grassroots politician here in Italy for years. I pay my dues every year. And I've been called to serve. And I've been serving when it comes to community services. But I refuse to be a councillor because I know I'll be a councillor to serve a white man. I want to serve my land. And I've spoken with white people, with senators, with speakers in this country. They've made me to realize that until the younger generations in Africa comes together and eliminate their leaders, they don't respect our leaders. That is why they are no more respecting us in all countries. Because we are many. Look at what happened in the United Nations last time when they were talking of climate weather. Buhari came there. They asked Buhari that Nigeria has the largest number of the youth population in Africa. What are you doing with these resources? Buhari was reading what they wrote for him for climate something. I was looking at what? Anybody that knows very well knows that Buhari is a dementia patient. He has a prostate cancer. He went under chemotherapy. That was why he was in UK for years. That was why we all saw those pictures they are taking around. Because when you undergo chemotherapy, they have to give you like a dead brain patient. Like they have to kill every of your cells. Buhari cannot communicate. Look, go and watch the candidate last year before the election. When the lady was asking questions, Oshibajo was replying. The woman said, no, I'm asking the president. Are you the president? Let him answer. He cannot communicate fine. We all understand that when somebody grows, it's not everybody that is lucky to have a brain, the cognitive functioning very well. So all these things is happening, and all these people are making us through the problem of our president because they know that he cannot communicate very well. And coming back to the northern people, I love one Nigeria, but I want to tell you, if truly we Nigerians want to move forward, I will tell you that let's start from the southern region. In the sense that let us form a formidable party. Let us take it back to them. It is true. Let us involve them. But let us make it that in our own region, all the Southerns, both the Igbo, Bini, Yoruba, let us vote for a particular new party. By the time we have them in our National Assembly, then we can be able to change things, to change anything that is wrong. Anything outside all these things, we can never do anything. And these people will never do anything for us.
Thank you very much. I really want to ask, I have a northerner, in our midst, and I really want him to tell us what does, restructure. First of all, are the northern youth in support of restructuring, and what does restructuring mean to an average northerner? And as everybody has been saying, you know, somebody just said he's in Kebbi, and the northern elites are threatening him when he's trying to start sensitizing people about New Nigeria, as they feel that he's trying to motivate people against the leadership. You know, so let's hear from Imam Malik. Please go ahead.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. I want to follow up on what Mr. Anthony said. Actually, he's right. You know, people differ based on social settings. The language you speak, once is different from another person, then it has become a basis for difference. And you know, Nigeria as a country, we have over 300 ethnic groups. And each ethnic group has its own peculiarities. So what he's saying is true. To some extent, I will agree with him. Northerners are not inclined towards restructuring because most of the times the elite happens to explain it in such a way that it will suit their interests. Just like the call for the restructuring itself have different meaning to different groups in Nigeria. Yeah, it has different meaning to different groups. And secondly, there are so many things that influence an average northerner's thinking. But in all, we cannot really rule out the fact that northern news cannot really come up. And then, in fact, the only thing is, one thing that I will assure you is that they will maybe take a kind of moderate stand. Let me put it that way, moderate. They cannot really, like now, coming to be protesting and what I feel, they may not likely be, you know, inclined, you know, towards doing that. But definitely, in fact, some of the people, a lot of people, you know, education is everywhere now, and people are seeing things are not going the way it's supposed to go. You understand? But then, for you to have someone that will drive the process, you know, it's also a problem. And then, two, even if there are people that can drive this process, they are also coming from the elites. It is son, the children of the elites that are the one in the better position to drive this kind of process. So at the end of the day, if you are telling the father to go, it is the son that is going to replace him. So it's a bit complex situation. But I think in all, I would like to advise here that we just have to see ourselves as Nigerians, and we have to take this movement to all nook and crannies of the country. And we have to continue. Yes, it may impact more in some regions. It will have less impact in another region, but it's a process. Once it is started, 1 year, 2 years, a decade, 2 decades, it will definitely give us results at the end of the day. And Mr. Stephen, I'm coming. Most importantly, last time I spoke about how we supposed to be communicating, you understand, mentioning names. Like now, in Nigeria, people are inclined towards the ethnic group. Very few people are objective. Like now, if you mention something bad about Obasanjo, an ordinary Yoruba may not really maybe like it. If you mention something bad about Buhari, an ordinary Northerner may not like it. If you mention something bad about Jonathan, an ordinary South person may not like it, even though it could be true. He may not like it. So we just have to be moderate. We have to also articulate our position, because we cannot start rushing to all this, maybe getting results immediately. No, but I'm more interested in those things that we can do that can impact. Because once we have done one thing that impacted, in the nation, automatically our membership will grow astronomically. Let us think, what do we think we can do to influence even this present government to do, so that Nigerians will say it is new Nigerian movement that influenced this process, and this is the results. So this is my submission. Thank you for giving me time.
Thank you so much. I honestly feel that by the way, I am the person who just spoke is Mohammed Abari, not Imam Malik. So, but one of the things that I want to say that needs to happen is a major education, even in the North, for people to understand that people say they have something against a leader or calling a leader's name there's nothing wrong doing that. I remember that, in case you may not know, Southwest, where Obasanjo is from, nobody abused Obasanjo like Southwest. In fact, Obasanjo is less popular in the Southwest. The Northerners brought Obasanjo to power, and he knows that, right? Even Jonathan, the same thing. It's still a bit, particularly Southwest, that kicked Jonathan out. So the reality is that I think Northerners need to begin to also realize that, look, the concept of saying no to a particular, that leaders are to serve us, we are not to serve them. We have to begin to understand that there's nothing wrong with somebody calling out a leader out. Nothing wrong with that. It's part of life. It's part of modern realities, and we all just have to gradually evolve into that. But I agree with you that the northern young elite, because if you look at the NSAS, many people didn't know that the NSAS actually was done by the southern young elite, right? Because the most marginalized Southerners are those you call touts, those you call hoodlums. And what happened was that you took their territory, you took the street. They are the owners of the street. So when the musicians, children of elites, the children of people, if your parents are in Lekki, you obviously are not a poor person, right? When you're educated, you have a job, you have a business. When those people took off the streets, they forgot that they are this Agbero, this, and if you notice, when they first started, they started attacking, particularly in Alausa. I remember one of the days I joined, they started attacking these Agbero guys. But when food started coming up and they started doing daily food, no Agbero had time to, even if they pay him money, he go call chop. Wasn't fighting anybody because my food is guaranteed. So, but what we also need is a revolution by the northern young elite. Because it's those of you in the north who are educated the same way the southern young elites rally around. Because the NSAS movement would not have gone this big if it wasn't that the young elites were involved. Yeah. Because they are the ones that are educated to have structure, to be able to sustain. You know what it takes to do a protest for 12 days consistently without violence until the shooting that took place in Lekki? It meant that there was a lot of coordination, a lot of strategy that went on. And it was because the elites were involved. So when you begin to see the same passion from the northern elites, those who are privileged to be educated in the north, because you don't need to have your parent be politician. As long as you're educated and you're a northerner, you want to begin to say, look, we need to have the best from the north. I have seen very intelligent, articulate northerners. I mean, look at Tafawa Balewa. I mean, you need to see the guy speak in front of the Queen of England when he went to America. You need to see the respect that was given. You need to see him speak Queen's English. You know that at that point, you had the best of the northern elites ruling Nigeria. But what you're having right now is that the worst, right? The North is giving us the worst. And that's what's going on here. And they continue. that process where is the worst, the least qualified that is coming out. And what happens, of course, other people then hijack that process, create a cabal around that person, and then continue to hijack the person's government. Pastor Tunde Bakari, who was the VP to Buhari in during the CPC, still said it that God delivered Buhari from evil advisors. You will know that the people around him are taking advantage of his old age, the fact that the man is no longer as youthful to do any much, relies on those people around him. And these people have taken over his government, right? Those who, like maybe, Pastor Bakari, will still tell you that the Buhari he knows, meant well for the country. Okay, but again, you are still the leader. If your government is not performing, people have the right to call you out. So let me have Imam Malik. I think he's ready for us. Imam, go ahead.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening.
Are you hearing me?
Yeah, we can hear you. I guess you're on the road, Abby.
Yes, no. I am not on the road. I came in and I came in and I found out that one person was making very fantastic contribution, and in all, I also had him saying that the northern things, the northern that, President this or bringing that. I think this is not what we here for in a real sense. And I want us to actually focus on what we want to achieve with regards to our goals. Let me tell us and give us some information that maybe we are not aware of. Let us not deceive ourselves with regard to the setup of Nigeria, north, south, southeast, and southwest. We have northeast and north south, which predominantly are Muslims from both others. While the North Central, they call Middle Belt today, have, let's say, 65-40. I'm driving up to something. I want to educate us on something, certain things. These people from the north, you can't separate their ways of thinking, their ways of doing things from the orientations of the religious background, what they taught them. Even if he is a professor today, we should note this. And everything they do, they align themselves with the principle of their religion. This has a greater impact in their daily life. This is a fact. When we talk about restructuring, there are many youth that were engaged on issues that concern the rebirth of Nigeria. And all of them are welcoming the idea. And there are many comrades that are there doing their work locally in their community, making sure that the people they elect, the people they vote in, are people that can represent them anywhere. Like Muhammad Abari Bear, what's the name? Say, we shouldn't mention me when we are discussing. Let us focus on the federal government and state government and senators or whatever. Let us not hold each of them by their name. Like he told you, that when you call a particular name of a person and you started talking, there are some people from the other section that will say, oh, he's abusing us, he's doing that. But in a real sense, you are not abusing them. So there is need for us to focus on how to take over. This restructuring we're talking about will not just come into place without you and me focusing on our principles, on our goals. Until you, me, him, her, take over the system. That is when we will restructure this country to the taste of our younger generation. This movement we've started. We may not be the one to enjoy the fruit of what we are doing now. But our focus and our aim and our goal is to see that we have a new Nigeria that is represented or dominated. We must have something we want to achieve by 2023. We must have something that we have to sustain. Tomorrow, if God willing, if we have this meeting, I will come up with a strategy, a kind of a strategies and plan that and a kind of movement of this nature carry out in Uganda or Ethiopia that makes them to change and transform that country with their force, with their demanding. And I think there is need for us to do the needful by understanding the culture of the people from the north, their culture, their traditions, and what they are thinking. These are things that we need to make sure that we understand. Number two, there is need for me and you and everybody to do what you just mentioned with regard to education. Not that they are not educated, but there is need for us to change their mindset. And in changing their mindset, we will not in any way say that they are not inclining to the education, but there are ways in which we can call in by using the media houses they have in the north there, using some of the leaders they have, they are youth, and alhamdulillah, those youth are working up to their responsibility. Do you know that as we're protesting with regard to NSAS and the rest, do you know some youth were also seriously protesting with regard to banditry and whatever, which I think there is one Nastru, whatever, I can't recall his name. They arrested him the other time when he protested in Katsina State with regard to this. He was arrested for years. People have to warn, they have to say this, they have to say that before he was released lately. I think he is among the youth in the north that always kicking against the way and manner the government of today is governing the Nigerians as a whole. And I think if we understand this, it will help us and it will pave a way for us to achieve what we want to achieve. Lastly, Dr. Steven, there is need for all of us, our discussion that we're discussing, to be centered on what we can do to drive this new Nigerian force, to capture this, to enter this, to do this and to do that. We know the government has failed us automatically. My opinion and my focus and my agenda is that we don't want next president of this country to be more than 50 years. And this is an agenda that we have to pursue and make sure that we use all the resources at our disposal, all the knowledge we have, everything that we can do to make sure that somebody who becomes the next president of this country, irrespective of where he comes from, must be under 60 years old. Let him be a youth. And we need to also have people in the Senate. The eras of governor retiring to the Senate, I think it has to be something that we have to put a stop to it. This will help us build a Nigerian that we want. This will help us restructure Nigeria that will be for our unborn children, and Nigeria will be great again. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. I love that ending part. Many of you are new and may not know where we are and how far we've come. We already have a short-term, a mid-term, and a long-term goal. Our short-term goal in the New Nigerian Youth Movement is to have 70 million Nigerians get their PVCs. Our mid-term goal, the New Nigerian Youth Movement, is to make sure that we get 50% of all elective positions by 2023 going to young people below the age of 50. Right? That is our midterm goal. And our long-term goal is to have a Nigeria that will be at the level of Dubai, if not better than Dubai, by the year 2050. So it's clear-cut. And like I said, it's difficult, I know, but we all have to start driving ourselves to say, how do we get this done? How do we achieve this? We need to begin to have ourselves wired in a way where we focus on solution. And I agree, with Mohammed Abari and Imam, that there are also a lot of great guys in the North who are pushing. They may not be much, but there are people who are every day pushing, pushing to seek good governance, but because they are not much and because of the draconian structure, these people are just picked up and locked up, picked up and locked up, picked up and locked up. So, but I can assure you, and I've said it again, the day the Northern Nigerian youths will take up bad governance, you'll be shocked what will happen to this country. But we all just have to keep, spreading the message, educating each other. If there's one thing I want us to achieve with the New Nigerian Youth Movement, is to say we are not the problem. South is not the problem. East is not the problem. West is not the problem. North is not the problem. The people, the political class, and they are from everywhere. Okay, they are from everywhere. They are, they are our problem. And we need to speak up. We need to, find a way to, preach that we get the best done, no matter what, and that we have the right people take over. We have young people take over. Like I said, people will say, but young people will be worse. My answer is the same. We know how to handle young people. But these old people, we don't know how to handle them. You can easily call out our young people, but it's more difficult to call out these old people who don't even check social media, who are so, protected. I remember one of the days, someone had to say, are we this far from the people? He had to say that, are we this far are we this far? Because what happened, he was shocked. He said, are we this far? But the truth is that they are far. Our governors are far. Our local government chairmen are far from the people. Our president is way far, immune from understanding what is going on and the pains of his people. And so we need to change all that if this country will get better. And it's possible. We can do it. We all just need to put in our efforts. We have just 8 minutes to go, so we might not be able to take other comments, but tomorrow we'll be back. And our show now runs Mondays to Fridays, 7 p.m. You want to share the Zoom link and make sure everybody has it. So Hamed Akonde, if you can post the New Nigerian Youth Movement membership form. We want you to go fill that form, upload your CV. We will be adding you to any of the 7 committees, you know, that will be the catalyst to come up with a life-changing document that will get us to changing this country for good. So we need you to join, and we need you to help us share that link everywhere. But like I said, right now we need more Northerners, because most of us who initiated this are Southerners. So we need to join Northern groups and post. And some of you are Northerners who can speak Hausa, you can interpret, you know, translate some of these conversations and, you know, in Hausa language, and post it to all the Hausa groups and tell them to join. I have even started doing some things. I've been looking for messages from moderate Islamic clerics, okay? That, because again, if you're going to access the North, you have to understand that you have to use the Islamic clerics and the traditional rulers. And I've started posting some of those messages, because I know definitely that begin to attract Northerners, at least, you know, to the page, and you can do the same. We just need to let everybody know that we understand that we're all in this same mess together, and we are all in need for a better country, and we all need to begin to speak the right conversations that can move the nation to a better. I mean, I watched this. I mean, I saw it on somebody's page. I was shocked. This is a Northern cleric, an Hausa man, speaking and educating people. You know, that as a Muslim, you cannot just go and kill people, right? And say it's right, right? Christians cannot kill people and say it's right. And these are the kind of messages we need to begin to push out there. That any Muslim that kills a Christian is not a true Muslim, because I have seen it in the Quran, right, where it's clearly stated that Christians are not pagans. So let's even go there to say there's a war against pagans. It's there. And I have seen it in the Bible that, you know, Islam came from the seed of Abraham, and we're all seed of Abraham. So where is all this division coming from? Where is all this, you know, don't mind them, you know, where is the stereotype coming from? And so these are things we need to begin to change. These are conversations we need to begin to have. And first of all, when we all agree on one common cause, remember the Tower of Babel, how God said, I don't know whether some of you read that in scripture. God said, though, not anybody. He said, he said, nothing shall be impossible for them. Nothing shall be impossible for them as long as they are united. God said that. Okay? God said that. Nothing shall be impossible for them. Okay? God, the creator of the universe, said that about human beings. And even God had to scatter their tongues. And it's the same model that the political elite use. Once they want to divide us, they throw in division, they throw in religion, they throw in race, they throw in all these conversations. It's just tactics, right, to break that unity. But as long as there's unity, nothing can stop us from achieving a new Nigeria and a better country for all. Tolu Rojai, you want to wrap up? Any announcements you want to give ahead of tomorrow? Tolu also will have a committee that Tolu is heading, which is moderators and presenters. So I had to help her today. She said she wants me to see me do it and have an idea of how she should be anchoring it going forward. One of the things we want to start doing going forward is to start inviting leaders to talk. So we can invite a Reverend Sam Adeyemi, we can bring up Femi Falana, we can bring Aisha Yusufu, we can bring Showore, we can bring Files, we can bring, you know, if the Sultan of Sokoto will come and address us. At least young people are now ready to talk. I mean, old people are now ready to talk to young people. If there's anything NSA has achieved, right? The older generation have agreed that they need to start paying attention to the young people before they burn the house down. I don't know if you agreed with me. So people who might hitherto be reluctant coming on Zoom and addressing young people, I can assure you now they are excited, they are interested. And so we need Islamic clerics, we need traditional rulers from the north and the south, even the Oni of Ife, Obi of Onitsha, the Oba of Benin. We need to begin to engage these people. Let them come and talk to us. What do they think we need to do? What were the mistakes? Even Obasanjo should come and tell us, what does he think was the mistake he made? IBB, we should interview him. Abdul Salam, how do you think we can achieve a new Nigeria? What were the mistakes your generation made, right, that led to you not being able to achieve a new Nigeria? Let's ask them. Because the truth remains that, you know, if you can never create a better society if you do not take the wisdom of the aged. Even if there's this adage, in other words, a young guy can have more clothes than the older ones, but he cannot have enough rag like the older ones, right? So you need to listen to the older, not that you want to emulate them, but where did they miss it? So that you don't make the same mistake. I believe that the beginning of the mistake, and some of us who even are calling for restructuring, need to hear those military rulers, why they were against restructuring. You need to listen to them. And I have heard their valid points. How many of you know that when Nigeria was running this regional government that we're all saying we want, the problem that happened were that the regional governments were not united? How many of you know that? You remember the Akintola saga, right? I hope some of us are aware. Also, one of the challenges was also our forefathers were not united from day one. Awolowo has this, Southwest agenda, right? There were leaders from the East that had their own. We have Saldanha of Sokoto, who had his own, northern agenda. So they were not even united. The people trying to bring them together was maybe Ahmadu Bello and maybe Zeke, right? Where the people may be trying to create some form of, hey, no matter how divided we are and we're trying to run our region, we still need to come together. Maybe those two were trying to do that, maybe. But you need to also listen to them. What were the issues? Why did you, Buhari, Obasanjo, Ibrahim Badamasi, Babangida, why did you guys take over from these people? Why did the military take over? From those who fought for Nigerian independence. You need to hear them. Do you need to agree with them? No. But if you don't know the mistake they made, if you don't listen and find out what was the problem, you might just create the same problem again. Does this make sense at all? Guys, if you think this makes sense, type it makes sense. This is very, very important. We have to start conversations. We have to start dialogue. We have to start listening to other people and have them talk. We have to start seeing other people's perspective in order to be able to create a consensus and a mutually agreed pathway forward. But we have to get these people here. Many of you, I know, you say, oh, the problem is Tinubu, the problem is Buhari, the problem is this person. But you need to even hear Tinubu out. You don't need to agree with it, but you need to listen to him. What was the mistake? Oga, it's obvious Nigeria is not working. Where did you guys get it wrong? Of course, they may say they got it right. No problem. Thank you. We have listened to you. You know, next person. But the youth needs to listen to the elders, not because they are going to implement what they are saying, but because at least you will have a sense of what the elders were trying to avoid. I mean, look at this entire decentralizing the police and having community police. It was part of the problem in the Southwest when we were running regions. How politicians were using those people to fight each other for political gains. Right? Those are histories that many of us have forgotten now. Many of us have forgotten now. So we need to have those conversations, and we know God will help us. It's a long journey, but we have laid our hands on the plow, and we're going to get there by the grace of God. Final words, Mohammed Adeleke, Tolu, Rojaye, and let's go.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. And I want to say thank you to everyone and for every contributor tonight. These are times that we really need to engage in deep conversations like this. As we said, that we're on a threshold in the history of our country, not just because of what happened with EndSARS, but also because it brought about an awakening for all of us. And then again, we all know that these are times when we have to embark on our most testing, daring, if we would call it that, most testing need and call for change for our nation like never before. And this is the time where we all have to put our hands on plow and do as much as we can, you know, by engaging ourselves like this. Somebody mentioned on the chat that there's a history gap. And sir, you rightly mentioned involving these thought leaders and also older generations, hearing their mistakes. These are also very crucial. We need to know, what's the word now? Do we call it the precedent now? To know what happened, what were the mistakes, what did they do, and will form our own narrative. This will form the corrective stance and the position we'll take. And I've
Hello, Tolu, are you there? Hello, Tolu, are you there? What happened?
Hello?
Yeah, you just disappeared. Welcome back.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I've been here all along. So to wrap up, there are engaging conversations happening all around. So I do not want us to be tired. We're going somewhere. We have an end goal. Dr. Stephen Akintayo has already shared with us what the short-term goals are, which are really thought-provoking, and what the long-term goal are. And if we keep at this, I know we'll arrive at the new Nigeria dream that we all have desired. All right, thank you again, everyone, for this conversation tonight as we move on tomorrow. And as he said, every Monday to Fridays from 7 p.m. is when we have these meetings. Thank you very much, Dr. Stephen.
Yeah, you're welcome. Mohammed, do you have anything for us?
In the coma.
Thank you, Dr. Akintayo, and everybody that's contributed today and for now.
Hello?
This is a special objective. We continue working on it till the end. So we employ us to, if you have not filled the membership form, that's posted on the WhatsApp group, and it's also on the chat section, so you can fill the membership form to further enhance the enhancement of the objective. Then secondly, also is that they are already adding people to different committee based on what they filled in the form. So if they have not filled the form and they are interested in becoming a committee member, fill the form. And if they are not even interested in becoming a committee member, also fill the form, because we need to grow our database. Then filling the form, we should also share this message to everybody on our contacts. This is a collaborative effort. So we'll continue to send more of these via the different channels.
Mohammed, you can.
I think Mohammed is off.
Okay, I'm here. So I'll be rounding up. Okay, you can round up the session. I'll make that for you.
Okay, thank you everybody for joining us. As Tolu Lope said, the shows will be having the shows Mondays to Fridays. Let's catch up with us on our usual feedback channel. We have on Facebook, New Nigeria HQ. You can search it. The links are here on the Zoom chat. We also have them in the Telegram group. Let's join the group and let's get the form filled. We are actually happy with the feedback we've gotten. You know, people from all over the world filling the membership form. For those of us that have not done that, let's do that so that we'll capture our data. It's very important to the movement so that we can harness, you know, the total skill that we have to get this project done. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. Hope to see you tomorrow with our anchor that will be on ground to Lulope. Thank you very much. Bye-bye, everybody. We move Nigeria. From Asaba, move Nigeria. So as we sign out, let's tell us where we move Nigeria from. I move Nigeria from Asaba. Thank you. Bye. Good night.